Stellar Terra Sneasler. This is really interesting. I haven't seen any Stellar Terra Sneasler at all. You've seen it really early on, like when Sneasler was picking up usage in Regulation H, but I haven't seen any for Regulation G. Swagger. Oh, he's Lumberry, Unburdened Lumberry. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Does this one-shot me? Wow. I just got fucking outplayed. What is up, everybody? Back with some more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Regulation G VGC. We are at the end of December now. We had the Toronto Regionals for Regulation H, and we're finally at the point where people are starting to pivot over to Regulation G stuff and starting to get their Regulation G teams ready for when it actually officially drops in-game at the start of January on the in-game ranked ladder. KYOGRE is arguably probably one of the top 5 best restricteds. You could argue it's top 5 easily, and I wouldn't really argue with you that much for this format. I did a tier list for the restricteds as well, if you guys want to check that out at the end of the video. I kind of rank all the restricteds and which ones are the best and kind of currently the worst and that type of thing. Kind of what if you're looking to kind of pick something specific to play, kind of based off that list. So I did an updated list, which should be live before this video goes up. So if you guys want to check that out, it's in the video. But KYOGRE is really solid. It's actually just kind of your really standard KYOGRE team. And you have Sneasler coming back, as if we never got enough of Sneasler in Regulation H. It's back again on this team, but I do think it fits pretty well on this team. It's team by Bryson, if you guys want to check this team out and use it for yourselves. Rental for this team up in the corner, paste down below. And we're going to kind of hop in some games with the team and see how it does. A lot of people are also playing the Regulation G teams on the casual ladder right now, so you're more than likely, if you do use your Regulation G team, you're probably going to be going against opposing Regulation G teams on the ladder, guaranteed most of the time now. So a lot of people aren't really playing Regulation H anymore unless you're on Showdown. So kind of run through this team, then we're going to hop on some games. If you guys have any Regulation G teams you guys want to see me feature that may be interesting, or it's kind of anything in general right now, if you guys maybe want to see, let me know in the comments down below if you guys have like a rental code, or if you guys, even if it's not your team, if you have just it's like a cool team you guys maybe want to see me feature, I'll check it out, and if I like it, I might feature it on the channel. Kind of struggling to find Regulation G teams because I think a lot of people aren't really building Regulation G teams yet. They're kind of taking a break over the holidays, and I think after the holidays they're going to start building for this next regulation closer to January when it actually starts dropping in game. So I'm kind of struggling kind of finding rentals in game for Regulation G teams. I have a few for Showdown that I could feature, but I don't know if you guys really want to see me playing a team on Showdown. I don't think those videos really do as good as these ones. So we're going to run through this team. We're going to hop in some games. You got the Mystic Water KYOGRE with the Terra Grass. Just a really standard set. You got the Origin Pulse there for the other spread move that does not get reduced, unlike Water Spout does. And you got the Ice Beam there for a lot of your Dragon types or your Flying types, stuff that gets hit by it for super effective damage, other Grass types, that type of thing. You got the Choice Scarf or Sheaf on this team with Terra Water. It gets boosted in the rain. It's overall really standard set. Got the Grassy Seed Sneasler that also pairs with the Rillaboom on this team. With the Grassy Seed, you pretty much outspeed everything. In this format, there is some other fast stuff though. Like there's Booster Mons that you kind of have to be scared of. I think Booster, Iron Valiant might outspeed you depending on your set sometimes. There's a bunch of other stuff like Flutter Mane with a speed boost still outspeeds you sometimes. And there's a few other really fast things that can get a speed boost like Iron Bundle and one or two other things that you can kind of have to be really careful for. So if you're running Sneasler in this format, I think you have to run like max speed Charlie. You're kind of forced to run it in this format with like max speed. Otherwise, there's a chance a lot of these other Pokemon that can actually outspeed you, even when you have Unburdened active. So it's kind of the main big change for Sneasler if you want to use it in this format. It's everything's a lot faster, so you're forced to run max speed, whereas in Regulation H, if you really wanted to, you could run maybe not max speed, just run a little bit of speed. And with Unburdened, you'd still be able to outspeed the majority of the format, which you can't do anymore. So it also makes the Sneaslers a lot less bulky because you were able to run a little bit of bulk on some of those EV spreads. And you can't really do that anymore because you just run max attack, max speed, Jolly most of the time. That's usually what the most common sets, at least I've been seeing for Sneasler in this format so far. So, got the Terra Dark there with the Throat Chop. This is mainly for stuff like Cali Rex, and there's a few of the other restrictions that get hit by Dark type damage for super effective. So that's kind of what they were there for. And then your Golden Goes that you might be going against. You got the Rillaboom on this team with the Miracle Seed, just kind of a really standard set with Terra Fire, fully offensive with the, or like more of an offensive Rillaboom with a Miracle Seed there as well, for mainly to kind of help your matchup into opposing KYOGRE teams, I'm assuming. You got the Covert Cloak Tornadus. You're going to be seeing a lot more Tornadus coming back, y'all. We're back in the format where Prankster Tailwind is really good, and you have two Prankster Tailwind users that are probably the best ones, being Tornadus and Whimsicott. It's either kind of one of those, pick whatever one you really want to use. You're going to be seeing a lot of Tornadus if you're using Tailwind or people are using Tailwind teams. So, overall, it's a really standard that you got the Taunt and Tailwind, and then you got your own manual, Rain for opposing weather spam. That's kind of what it's usually there for. And then you got the standard Terra Fairy AV Arclodon. So there you go. Not really too much crazy there. Kind of a really standard team. We're going to see how it does. We'll top in some games. Alright, we are the game. We're actually going against a Regulation F team. This might actually be a copy-paste rental team. It looks really familiar. I'm not 100% sure though. I swear I used something that was a copy-paste that was just almost identical to this back in Regulation F. Or no, I think I said Regulation H. It's back Regulation F team. Articuno, Alolan Ninetales, Ogerpon, Water, Landorus Eye, Raging Bolt, and Hisuian Arcanine. So, it's going to be a battle of the weather wars here, y'all. Battle of the weathers. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to lead Arclodon. I'm going to lead Arclodon, I'm going to lead Tornadus here, I'm going to bring the Kyogre in the back. He's for sure going to bring Ogerpon, so I need something for Ogerpon in this game too. I think the Rillaboom here is like kind of whatever they want to bring. It also reduces the ground type damage. I don't think he has Earthquake, but it's solid into like Landorus. I think I bring the Rillaboom here by itself. Kind of stupid to bring because like half his team checks it really well, but I also have Terra Fire if things kind of get out of hand. It comes down to if he really keeps his weather up too. I just have to play this one really well. I guess it depends on what he brings too. You can only bring 4 Mons. I'm pretty sure it's a rental team, because this is an English player and he's using a Japanese team. This has to be a rental. I knew it looked familiar. It's the Raging Bolt. I'm just going to start going for Electro Shot here. I'm just going to start Electro Shotting and I'm going to set up a Rain Dance here. Okay, there's the Follow Me, that's fine. I think the worst case scenario is if he has like Calm Mind, Raging Bolt, which could be a bit of an issue here. I'm not really too worried about it though. Oh yeah, Snarl, okay. That's a problem. Just give me a free defense boost, so that's fine. Keep on giving me free defense boost. Doesn't really even do that much because it's only at neutral. It really doesn't do much. I'm just gonna go for Electro Shot again. Like I just keep on going for it here, and then I'm gonna Tailwind. Because like all he's doing is he's just giving me free defense boost. And I think if I can get a Tailwind, I can actually outspeed Raging Bolt. I can get my attack boost before he snarls me, which would be really nice. I can start going for Taunt here too. That way you can't keep going for Follow Me. I'm surprised he hasn't went into the Ninetales. I expected the Ninetales to come in to kind of shut this stuff down. The Snarl keeps putting me back to neutral, which kind of sucks, but he just keeps giving me defense boost. Like that's all it's really doing. Keep on feeding me free defense boost. That's fine. I don't know. Part of me wants to go for a Bleak Wind Storm here to get some solid chip damage on the probably incoming Ninetales. But I think I'm going to taunt the Ogerpon here, because I think it's going to switch on this turn. Here it comes. Here comes the Ninetales. I taunted mainly because I don't want him setting up Aurora Veil. That's the main thing. Like, if a lot of the Ninetales too, especially in Regulation G, a lot of them like to run Encore. So if he Encores me into, like, Electro Shot here, and I'm not able to get my weather up, that could be a bit of an issue too. Goes for Draco, and it actually almost kills me, actually. I'm at, like, +3 defense, though. I'm just gonna start going for Bleakwind Storm here. Actually, I gotta get my rain up. I gotta get my rain up again. I gotta get the rain up. I think the Raging Bolt might swap here. I think Ogerpon comes in again. But, like, that's really risky because if I go for Bleakwind Storm, then it's just a Bleakwind Storm to the face and probably drops, so. Terra Fairy. KYOGRE's looking really good late game. Yeah, it's looking really, really good. As long as I can keep the Rillaboom around for the Ogerpon, the KYOGRE look good. Doesn't do nearly enough to the Ninetales, though. There's the Blizzard. The Archlodon dodges, that's huge. I actually live a Blizzard, too. Snarl. And I hit the double dodge. Huge. Huge double dodge. I'm gonna just go for Flash Cannon here. I think I just Flash Cannon onto the Raging Bolt. I think the Raging Bolt's a huge threat. Actually, if he goes for Snarl, I don't even think that actually kills me. I don't even think Snarl actually kills me here. Do I have Tailwind still? I have one turn of Tailwind left, so I think I just go for Flash Cannon onto the Ninetales here, and then I'm going to Bleakwind Storm in case he switches. I think that's my play. Because if he wants his weather back, he has to switch out. There it goes. Was that Ogerpon? Okay, you're going to catch a Bleakwind Storm to the face. Get out of here. Like, unless he goes for Draco here, I don't even know if he has Thunderbolt on this. If he had Thunderbolt on this Raging Bolt, I think he would have already went for it. I think he only has Thunderclap, and he doesn't want to go for it because it's kind of a 50-50 play, and if I don't attack, he wastes his turn. He's already at -2 special attack as well, so, like, he's not doing that much damage. I'm assuming what he does here is he's going to swap out the... Raging Bolt has to be getting swapped out here, right? It has to be. I don't know why he'd stay in, actually. I'm just going to go for I think I'm just going to go for the Flash Cannon anyways, and I'll Tailwind here. Okay. So Ninetales is dead on the way in, so if I can get my Rain back up one more time, like, he has no Snow Cloak stuff going on. My opponent's team's really weak to Archlodon. Like, he has ways to play around it, though, but I think he's played really bad with the Archlodon being in his face. Giving it a bunch of free defense boost when, like, Ogerpon... I guess Ogerpon doesn't really touch it that much either, but... Like, my opponent's team gets wrecked by Archlodon. It's the crit. The crit maybe might have mattered there, depending on his build. That maybe matter, because that maybe... Fine, though. I think what I do here... I could go Terra Grass, but I don't know if I really want to go Terra Grass here, if I'm being real. He rage quits on me, you fucking loser. This is your typical example of your random noob that thinks he can go on the ladder and get a bunch of free wins with somebody else's rental team, and then he has no idea how to play it, and then when he gets his ass kicked, he gets mad and rage quits. Typical fucking loser. I don't know if I'll throw this one into the video for you guys. If I do, consider it a bonus. I'll see you guys another game. I'm not going to waste any more time. Really fucking pathetic. Take the fucking loss like an actual person, that like anybody else would. Why do you have to rage quit? Alright, we're here with the game. My opponent's running some crazy shit. Like, this is going to be a huge test for this team. He's running a bunch of stuff that's illegal. He has Hoopa, Hydrapple. I forgot what that mon's name. I think that's... I forgot what. It's the Dark Grass mythical mon. I always forget his name because I never see it. Or his own Urshifu, Spectrier, and Glastrier. So instead of using Calyrex, he just uses all the horsey mons. So I think what I do here is I just leave Kyogre. Like, he has no wide guard or anything. Like, he has checks to water moves, I guess, if he's like AV, Hydrapple, but even then, he's not going to really be doing very much. I bring the Tornadus lead here, just for Tailwind mainly. I want Arclet on here for sure. It looks really good versus his team. I think I just bring Urshifu in the back. I'm not really going to think about this one very much. I mean, if one has a really crazy team, but like they got to really pull out all the stops here if they still want to win, because the Kyogre under Tailwind outspeeds everything on this opponent's team unless they're Scarfs. And literally like one-shots half his team. I don't really care about this. This is Bleak Wind Storm Spam 101 right here, y'all. I could go for Protect on the Kyogre here, or even like Terra Grass, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to go Terra Grass here. I'm just going to Origin Pulse for damage. I could Ice Beam too, actually. I'm going to Terra Grass, and then I'm going to Ice Beam the Monkey here, and then just go for the Bleak Wind Storm. We'll see if he's Scarfed. I don't know, I want to Protect, but at the same time, it doesn't really pay protecting if I'm still going to be taking a bunch of damage. I don't think Bleak Wind Storm one-shots the Urshifu. He's Choice Scarf Urshifu with Thunder Punch. I don't know how that thing outspeeds me. How does that outspeed me? Yeah, I just don't know its stats, and it's really fast, I guess. I don't know. I think I just go for Tailwind here. Tailwind, and then Origin Pulse. He does have Hydrapple, okay? I gotta still Tailwind here, though, I think. I'll Origin Pulse, and then, like, I don't know what the Hydrapple really has here, but I still just go for Tailwind. I can't have the Urshifu outspeed me. I think with Tailwind, I think I should be able to outspeed. Of course he gets the clutch. He's not even Scarfed. Maybe it's my EVs. I don't know. Maybe this Tornadus is not max speed, actually. I have to double check. Haul and Puff, what a play. Okay. I gotta double check the EVs on. Maybe it's because I'm not max speed, that's why all this shit's outspeed. It's because I'm not max speed. That's why it's a bulky Tornadus. I thought it was a max, like a EV spread that I usually run. Is usually like max HP, max speed. Like Timid or something usually is what I kind of run. This one's a bulky Tornadus with max speed F and like some defense investment, so that makes sense. I just Ice Beam here. Ice Beam, Bleak Wind. It actually kills him too, so that's not Assault Vest, that's for sure. Goodbye. We learned a thing in this match is that the Tornadus does not have max speed, so kind of questionable too, because the main issue I usually face with not running max speed on Tornadus is a lot of the other common Prankster mons, if you're going against the mirror match for Tornadus, is you lose the speed type because you don't have any max speed, so if they have Taunt, which is pretty common on a lot of other opposing Tornadus, they outspeed you guaranteed and they taunt you before you're able to really do anything most of the time. And another issue is Whimsicott, which is also another mon that you really want to kind of try to speed tie with sometimes, depending on their EVs. Some of the times they don't run max speed, and if you run max speed, you can actually outspeed them in Bleak Wind Storm and just one-shot them. That's kind of the main drawbacks of why I don't really like running bulky Tornadus. I think it's a little bit too dependent on like the mirror matchup, and you lose a lot of those versus a lot of the other prankster mods and a few other things. Like even Urshifu, like Urshifu is outspeeding you now, which you shouldn't be losing to. If you don't run max speed, you lose to Urshifu, which is a huge problem. Especially if you're going against like a mirror matchup of that. So I just Origin Pulse here and I just go for the Leaf Wind. And I just wanted to kind of talk about that because I think those EVs for the Tornadoes do need to be changed. There was one or two testing games too. I was wondering why like the Tornadoes kept getting outsped by like some random shit. Now I for sure know why. I just didn't look at the EV spread. At least in those games, but now I know. That makes sense. Not bad though, we got the dub. My opponent's team just didn't have anything for KYOGRE, like especially Terra Grass KYOGRE. He had Power Whip, but the Power Whip wouldn't have done nothing anyways, so not bad. See you guys in another game. Alright, we're in another match. It's gonna be a really difficult game with going against Zamazenta here, so one is the Zamazenta Regulation G team of Zamazenta, Skeledirge, Hisuian Decidueye, Iron Treads, Grimmsnarl, and his own Sneasler. So is he like Sash Sneasler with Unburden? I'm assuming that's probably what it is.
I think the main issue here is if he has
team. Because the KYOGRE only has Ice Beam as a single target move. Everything else this KYOGRE does is a spread move. It kind of gets walled by that, so I gotta be really careful here. Same with the Tornadoes. I mean, I have Taunt on the Tornadoes to kind of prevent that type of thing, which is really what I need here, so I can still bring the KYOGRE and the Tornadoes. I just have to prioritize going for Taunt on the first turn if I do bring it here, but I think I'm going to lead KYOGRE. I'm going to bring the Tornadoes because it's really good into his team. What else do I want to bring here? I think Urshifu is also really good into his team. It really is. I'll bring the Urshifu, and I think it's bring the Arclodon here. Sneaser's okay into his team as well, but if he's like Iron Defense, Zamazenta, I can actually get walled by that and lose later in the game, so like I can't really touch Skeledirge. I'm forced to go Terra Dark to kind of get around that thing, so I think I'm better off just bringing these. This is really a question, like, what are you doing here for this lead? Like, what is this? Like, is this, like, Thunder Wave Grimmsnarl, or, like, is this Screens Grimmsnarl? Because I don't know what else he would really do here. I really just want a Water Spout, but I kind of want to Protect here to see what he does. And it's Bleakwind Storm this first turn. Because, like, Bleakwind Storm probably one-shots Decidueye. He's forced to Terra here. It's 4 times effective on him. Parting Shot, that's what it is. Okay. So he wants to Parting Shot into the Zamazenta because that has probably Wide Guard. Get that Decidueye out of here, though. That's a huge threat out of the way because that can deal with the KYOGRE, so goodbye. If he goes into Zamazenta right here, though, that means he has Wide Guard. Okay, he goes into Sneasler. So that tells me he's probably Sash Sneasler, if I'm guessing, or like fake out Normal Gem, maybe. I don't know, my opponent's team just really weak to Bleakwind Storm too. Like it's really spammable versus them as long as they don't have Wide Guard. I kind of wanted his Water Spout here, but I'm scared of the Thunder Wave. I am a Water Spout anyways. I'm gonna Water Spout Tailwind here. He's gonna Terra. Stellar Terra Sneasler. This is really interesting. I haven't seen any Stellar Terra Sneasler at all. You've seen it really early on, like when Sneasler was picking up usage in Regulation H, but I haven't seen any for Regulation G. Swagger. Oh, he's Lumberry, Unburdened Lumberry. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Does this one-shot me? Wow. I just got fucking outplayed. Holy fuck, I just got outplayed. I don't know, I think I can go into Arclet on here. Like, I'm forced to go Arclet on and just go for, like... I don't know, I could Terra too. Like, I think with a Tailwind and a Choice Scarf, I might be able to outspeed Urshifu. I think I might be able to. It comes down if he has Thunder Wave on this. Because I believe Windstorm here for sure. I could Terra Water too, but I don't know if that really... I kind of want to save my Terra for the Arclodon. I don't know if he has Zamazenta in the back. That's kind of the main problem here. I know he's not Sash, though. If he's not Sash neither, so he's forced to go after the Tornadus here, and he doesn't know I'm Choice Scarfed. So... I don't know, if I were him, I'd parting shot out here and I'd protect the Sneasler, but like that's really ballsy. And there's the Choice Scarf coming in clutch. Really cool though. That is the coolest Sneasler set I've seen so far. Really, really cool. And Grimmsnarl is one of the only Prankster mods I think that also gets swagger. I think Tornadus also does get swagger because I used it on one of my teams. If you guys missed, I threw up my Terrapagos team like about a week or two ago for this regulation. That team has Swagger Tornadus on it too. Really cool though. Lumberry proccing the Unburden, getting a +2 boost, and then just kind of one-shotting everything. I think the only downside to that though is like if you don't one-shot something, and like if they both double into the Sneasler on that specific turn, you usually just trade. That's kind of the main downside with that set, I think, because you don't have to focus Sash there. And like the Grimmsnarl is really passive, it doesn't really do that much. If I were him, I'd actually throw Tornadus on that. If that's really what he's trying to do, I would throw Tornadus and then have the Tornadus do the same thing. Because the thing with Tornadus is it's a lot more offensive and actually does solid damage. The Grimmsnarl just sits there and doesn't really do much most of the time. After it's swag or something. That's kind of the problem I had with that. That's what I would change my team if that's what he really wants to run going forward. I think that would make the team actually better, at least on paper, at least in my opinion. I just go Surging Strikes here. He knows I'm Scarf probably, and I just Bleak Storm. Parting Shot, that's fine. In the rain, you're still dead. That doesn't matter. And that's a 2-hit KO even at -1. No Zamazenta either, which I'm shocked by. So either he doesn't have Wide Guard on Zamazenta or he didn't want to bring it for whatever reason. Zamazenta is actually pretty damn good into this team. I don't know why he would not bring Zamazenta. If you guys are playing this team, look out for Zamazenta, especially if they have Wide Guard, because they are really good in this team. You have a few ways to play around it, but if they can set up Iron Defense, Body Press stuff, and they also have Wide Guard, then you're kind of in a bad spot. Like, you're forced to either taunt them or there's one or two other things you can kind of do with this team, but once they get rolling, it's kind of difficult to stop. You got to be really careful how you play it. Not bad. I'll see you guys in one final game. Alright, we're here at the match. My opponent actually running a really cool Regulation F team. Finding a lot of Regulation F teams on the ladder tonight too. It seems like a lot of people are playing like Regulation F teams or Regulation G teams, and then like you once in a while you run into like a Regulation H team, but it's mostly Regulation F and G teams on the ladder, at least for casuals currently. Lando Eye, Tornadus, Raging Bolt, or Shifu, Rillaboom, and Incineroar. Literally like a copy-paste cookie cutter team. You couldn't have get more basic than this. He's for sure bringing Raging Bolt, that's for sure. That's a no-brainer here. He's for sure bringing Raging Bolt. So I think what I do here is I lead my own Tornadus, I bring Arclodon lead, I bring the KYOGRE in the back instead. What else do I want to bring here? I also like Sneasler here, but I think Urshifu with this Scarf this game is just so much better. With his choice scarf, it outspeeds everything on my opponent's team. I mean, the main issue is going to be the Raging Bolt. That's kind of what I have to really play around. If you guys are using this team too, I think another thing you got to be really careful for is a really well played Raging Bolt, because they can put in work versus this team. Depends what set they are, but certain sets, and if they're played really well, can destroy this team. So it brings Raging Bolt, that's fine. That's completely fine here. What I do is I just set up Rain Dance here, and then I start going for Electro Shot. If he fakes out the Arclodon, he gives me a free defense boost. If he doesn't, he takes a fuck ton of damage. Okay, he gives me a free defense boost. I'm fine with that. Like, I'm not afraid of what the Raging Bolt does to me here at all, because I'm Assault Vest, so that's fine. Oh, he's Calm Mind, okay. I have a taunt coming your way, bud. I'm not letting you set up on me. We can't have that. Taunt this bitch. Get him out of here. I want to start rolling with some Electro Shots. I want to start getting some special attack rolling. I could Body Press. I'm at +1 Body Press. I'll do a shit ton of the Incineroar, but I kind of want him to hit me a few more times so I can get some free defense boost. Because the Incineroar doesn't do shit here. He's forced to Parting Shot out here, probably. Going to like either the Rillaboom or Landorus here would be really solid. He knocks off the Covert Cloak, so that's a bit of an issue. I kind of want to just Tailwind here, predicting him to go for, like, Thunderclap. I think I do. That's what I go for here. Let's go for Electro Shot again. I think if he has Landorus, though, I think he would have already went into it, so... Like, you think you'd predict an Electro Shot here and go right into Landorus, that's what I would do. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have the Landorus because he's scared of the Kyogre. That actually KOs him now, so we're rolling with a lot of stats already. We're at +2. We aren't going to be doing as much to the Raging Bolt because he's set up, but... Okay, that actually does a solid amount of damage. Even with an AV, that does a fuck ton. My opponent has Calm Mind, Dragon Pulse. I'm assuming either T-Bolt or Thunder. One of those two. Or even like coverage. Maybe it has coverage. Yeah, it's either Protect. It could be Protect too, I guess. And then like Thunderclap or Thunderbolt. So I think what I do here is I just Bleak Wind Storm. I'm going to Bleak Wind Storm. I could go for Electro Shot again. Or I could try to go for Draco here and just try to nuke this fucking... I'm gonna go for Draco here. I'm at +2. I'm gonna YOLO. I'm gonna YOLO. Okay, no Thunderclap. Can I get a Speed Drop? That'd be great. Okay, that's Clutch. Clutch, Speed Drop, Clutch. I think that Speed Drop enabled it so where the Arclodon is guaranteed to outspeed him under Tailwind. That was huge. Huge KO. Perfect luck. Last monster Shifu, that's fine. I think the only major issue here is like I'm not max speed Tornadus. This is why I'm talking about like you need to run max speed on your fucking Tornadus, because now if he's max speed Tornadus, the Urshifu under Tailwind will outspeed my Tornadus, and I will not get any damage off here. That's another problem with this, because if you're going against like this type of comp with like the Urshifu Tornadus mirror as well, then your Tornadus does not outspeed the Urshifu on the opposing team, and you don't get as much damage off, or like even like possibly KO it with like Bleak Wind Storm. I'm gonna Electro Shot here into the Urshifu slot here. Terra. I still have Kyogre in the back, so We're looking pretty good still. And that right there, y'all, is why you run max speed Tornadus. But I got a bunch of free damage off into him right there. I mean, it'll do more now because he has the defense drop, so I guess that's it kind of worked out in that way, because I'm going to do more damage because he has no defense. So I do a little bit more damage, but I still would prefer to be speed tying with his own Tornadus, possibly. Like, I'm also Scarf Tornadus, or Scarf Shifu here, so... He doesn't know I'm Scarf, though. I have one turn of Tailwind left. I think what I do here is I just go after the Tornadus. I'm going to go for a Bleak Wind here, and then I'm just going to go after the Tornadus. I don't think I need the Terra. I'm going to save the Terra Grass on the Kyogre for the Urshifu later in the game. I think under Tailwind being Scarfed, I outspeed Tornadus here. There's the Detect. That's really ballsy, actually, because I could just go for close combat there and play from that range. He's Rocky Helmet. That's not good. He might actually live this. Maybe I shouldn't went Terra Water, because he actually lives because there's no rain. I just didn't want to throw the rain up because that would boost his own Bleak Wind Storm, so that I actually might end up still losing this. I might have misplayed there. I thought that was going to get the KO, but without the rain it doesn't actually. I can't really protect either because, like, it doesn't even go for. I don't even know if he's not choice because he detected. I think he just close combats me here. Like, I don't think it really even pays going Terra Grass, because I think he just goes for the close combat and he just hopes the Bleak Wind close combat combo here actually takes him out. I think that's what takes me out here. I might have misplayed actually. I maybe may have misplayed this match. See how much this does. But I don't know. It's gonna be really close. He actually goes for the Surging Strikes, though. It's going to be a roll. It's going to be a roll of whether I live this. Yeah, he gets a high roll there. If he would have got a low roll, I think I would have won. So I don't think that misplay really mattered that much because he got a high roll there on that second one. Wow, I can't believe I lost this guy. I don't think he deserved that win at all. I don't think he deserved that. It was just pure luck how he won. You did not deserve that win, bud. Did not deserve that one. I thought that your Urshifu would have took out the Tornadus, though. That was my biggest thing. I think even with no rain, like I figured that would take out the Tornadus, but the Tornadus lived, which was a big problem. And I guess I could have went Terra Water there too, but I didn't think I needed the Terra. I wanted to save it for the Kyogre later in the game when it was a 1v1 possibly versus the Urshifu in that sense. So I don't know. I think what really mattered there though was the Surging Strikes, because there was a chance there if he got 2 low rolls that I would have lived that probably, just judging by the damage of the first one. So I think him getting a higher roll there on that second one, it would have came down if he would have got 2 low rolls depending on the third one, which roll that was. There was still a chance I could have possibly lived there though, and I still would have just got the double KO. If I would have landed the Origin Pulse, I would have had to land double Origin Pulse into rain to get the KO, but still. I think at -1 defense from that range, I think even being resisted the Origin Pulse gets the KO on the Urshifu, so that kind of sucks. Let's talk a little bit about this team. Alright, if you guys want a really straightforward KYOGRE team, I think this is overall like a really solid team. Nothing really super crazy. Like, I think this team's kind of just your average original team. I wouldn't really call anything on this team like really super crazy out of the ordinary. It's all stuff that we know works really well, and it's paired together like Urshifu, Torn, Kyogre. We know that works. Like the Rillaboom Sneasler has been a thing for quite a while now. We know that works. Arclodon under rain, especially alongside Kyogre and like manual rain, and we know what it does. Like everything on this team is tried and true, and you like kind of know what you're really getting on a lot of this stuff. Nothing really too crazy here. Like, there is some stuff you have to look out for. There was at least in my testing games, there was a Zamazenta team that had Iron Defense wide guard Zamazenta, which was a huge problem for this team. Zamazenta with wide guard, mainly. It's a bit of a problem for this team. So if you guys are playing this team, look out for Zamazenta with wide guard. If they do have that, that's a bit of an issue. You have taunt and like a few other things to kind of play around it, but Zamazenta specifically, this team doesn't really have that much to really deal with, because a lot of your stuff on this team is also physical attackers. But like if they also have Iron Defense, which the one that I had in the testing games never did, but if they even have like Iron Defense too, they can kind of just steamroll you and kind of set up and maybe roll you if you don't have the tornadoes, but they taunt or like a few other ways to kind of play around it. Like the only thing you really have to hit it with the KYOGRE is with Ice Beam, which does nothing. So kind of scary if it gets rolling. And like the Arclodon, you're forced to go Terra Fairy, but they usually run like Behemoth Bash or like Heavy Slam most of the time. That still does a fuck ton of damage. So you gotta be really careful with Zamazenta. Opposing weather for this team: Koraidon, Groudon. I went against a Tyranitar in one of my testing games. Like opposing weather, or like even like manual opposing weather, like Tornadoes with Sunny Day, or a few other Prankster mons to get some type of weather. Alola Ninetales, there's a few other things. Gotta be careful for opposing weather. You have stuff to kind of deal with it, like you have Manual Rain, and like you can kind of play around with the KYOGRE to kind of keep the weather on your side. So it's not that big of an issue most of the time, but you gotta play really well, otherwise you can get kind of outplayed with opposing weather. This team really does like having the rain on its side, so gotta be really careful with that. Another mon you want to be really careful for is Raging Bolt. This team kind of gets wrecked by Raging Bolt. So if especially like Calm Mind Raging Bolt with like Thunderclap, if they get rolling with like 2 to 3 Calm Minds, they can actually sweep you. I had a game where one of my testing games I went against, like with Calm Mind Raging Bolt, I almost got fucking swept by it. So I think you guys got to be really careful if you're going against it. This team does not like Raging Bolt at all. You have like Rillaboom and stuff to kind of deal with it, but like Rillaboom ain't doing shit to Raging Bolt much, because you don't have the high horsepower to really hit it for much damage, unless they go Terra, which is usually like Terra Fairy or Terra Electric. But even then, you got to force a Terra out of them. I think the main thing to kind of get around is like the Arclodon, because they don't really have much to touch Arclodon, unless they have like Dragon Pulse. But even then, like as long as you can set up some special attack boosts, you can kind of do some damage back to them. So there's ways to play around it, but that is a threat to this team you guys got to look out for. There's a few other things too that I ran into, or that could be problems with this team, like off the top of my head. But that's kind of what you got to get when you're trying to play the team. Like learn what the team's good into and what it's good into, and like what's it bad into, and good and bad matchups, that type of thing. So overall, though, if you guys want a really solid KYOGRE team, is a pretty solid team. KYOGRE's back, and it's, like I said, you could probably argue this team's probably the top 5 best restricteds, in the top 5 at least, alongside Double Calyrex, Miraidon, Terrapago. So you can maybe say, like I said, maybe number 5. I wouldn't really argue with it that much. I think it could be. So solid team. Got a bunch more Regulation G stuff on the way, you guys don't want to miss. I also do stream over here, usually every Friday and Saturday night, around 9 ADST. So if you guys want to drop by, feel free to. I usually stream Wi-Fi battles on Saturday nights and other stuff on Friday nights. Usually like Overwatch 2, Apex Legends, and a few other things. I also stream on Twitch once in a while. I'll link to that down below. Really close to 2,000 subscribers. If you guys are new and you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. It really helps on the channel. I'm gonna get out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. See you guys in a future video.